How is everybody doing? Forza Milan, 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 Forza Milan. Just to remind everybody, Forza Milan. Yes, guys. It does look like, as of now, as things are, Juve is going to get that point deduction, which they had for half of the season. Then those points were given back to them. And now it looks like today the Procura, the court, has asked the federation to deduct points for Juventus's financial, let's say, illegal schemes. And it looks like it's going to happen, which means Milan is not going to have too many issues finishing in the top four, unless they fuck shit up. But I don't know. It's not official as of now, but the newspapers are following this situation very closely. It will be officialized in a few hours. We will know for sure. And a lot to talk about. Is it something to hang on to? Is it something to brag about? Is it something that we should be happy about? I don't know. We'll see. But before we get into, and a lot of news, guys, a lot of news. I'm going to open up the live, guys, in a bit. So yeah, Wizu, what's up? What's up, Christy? What's up, Forza Milan? Christian Bennacer, world-class player, 100%. Guys, is Bennacer not a world-class player? Because there's a crazy Albanian in Germany that says that he's not a world-class player. But I'm sure most of us agree that Bennacer is a world-class player. Forza Milan, Hesha Montana. Forza Milan, Vasil. I'm going to open up the live in a little bit. Oh, you cannot do the streams in the morning. Lord have mercy. RLC played good against City. Maybe he just wanted to impress Maldini. Oh, my Lord. RLC. He played good against City, hey? What was result? Also, did City... Is City like playing for real, or are they in the celebratory mood? What's going on there? I don't know. But listen, one thing we are going to look at today is Kamada. That is a player I wanted to look at. I don't know this player. He's been very, very, very closely linked to AC Milan, so we're going to look at him, actually. It's going to be one of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to look at Kamada today. And then a lot of news. And today I fixed the video situation so we can also look at a few players. We're also going to look at a few players. I'm going to open up the live, so we're going to do the live stream with guests today. By the way, Milan News is going to be starting very soon. So be ready for that. Milan News at this time every morning. In the Western Pacific time, every day, because the mercato is about to start, guys. The fucking serious mercato. Interesting news about the mercato. very good, interesting reports about the mercato. We're going to look at them. Potentially 100 million, guys, potentially, but we will discuss the details of that 100 million. As today is going to be crazy, man. We have so much news to cover today. It almost feels like the summer has already begun. It almost feels like the summer has already begun. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. First thing we're going to do is talk about Mr. Haidichi Kamada. First thing we're going to do. A lot of news, guys. Very, very, very interesting. A lot of news. So, according to La Gazzetta dello Sport, Milan are soon set to meet Real Madrid and Brahim agents to discuss a possible permanent deal, but Champions League football and 22 million are needed to even stand a chance. So La Gazzetta dello Sport are saying, if we don't make the Champions League, we ain't getting Diaz. So I'm sure some of you right now are thinking, hopefully we don't make the Champions League. But if this is true, and it could be true because monetarily it kind of does make sense. Yeah, of course, if we finish top four, we'll have more money to spend, more revenues, and so we can avoid any penalties from financial fair play, and we'll have the money to permanently get Brahim Diaz. There is no shortage of alternatives. If an agreement cannot be reached, though, and Kamada is one that has been talked about the most. He plays in the same role, and his characteristics are not too dissimilar, but he is 3 years older and scores more. Bro, who the hell wrote this, guys? Sometimes are they drunk? The people that write this stuff, are they drunk? Do they not pay attention to what they write? Like, the grammar is so bad. In the current Bundesliga season, he has 9 goals. Brahim is on 6 in Serie A, while in the Champions League, he netted 3 times, Brahim Diaz 1. Above all, Japan international costs less, as he would be a free transfer and his salary would not be much higher, if at all. So a few things to be noted. Very interesting stat here for the Brahim Diaz haters and also lovers. Since January, guys, and I'm sure a lot of you Milanisti read this somewhere, Brahim Diaz is the player with the most assists. Only one player has more assists than him since January, and that player is none other than KDB, Kevin De Bruyne. So interesting stats there for Brahim Diaz. Very interesting stats. 6 assists since January. The only player to have done better since January is Kevin De Bruyne with 7 assists in the top 5 leagues, of course. So interesting stat there that kind of tells us, where are all these other playmakers that get all the assists? It looks like we have one of the best playmakers. I mean, math is not an opinion. Numbers don't lie. So believe it or not, and I'm not here trying to start a pro Diaz propaganda report, whatever. I'm just stating, since January, guys, we have the second best playmaker in Europe, and his name is Brahim Diaz. Believe it or not, math is not an opinion. Anyway, Kamada, Daichi Kamada, guys, we're going to finally do this. We're going to finally check him out. I have no clue who this guy is, so we're going to check him out. Before we check him out, we're going to look at his highlights reels. First time I ever see him, guys. This is going to be a pure live reaction to Kamada. I have made sure to have never looked at his highlights because I am going to look at it here for the first time with you. Maldini got a lot of work to do. Yeah, that's 100% true. Scamacca, we'll be talking about Scamacca also. Vasil says, I really like what Kamada, and big no to 30 million for Diaz. 30 million for Diaz? No, I agree. That's too much. It did say 22 million, not 30 million. Maybe if he costs 20 million, that yes, but nothing more. It looks like that is the more accurate price. Diaz is renewing his contract with Real, so let him go back. We need someone better. Yeah, so like the Diaz thing is There's pros, there's fours. Actually, let's do this. Before we get into Kamada, Daichi Kamada, let me put a poll in the chat. Let me know what you think about Diaz. Should he stay or should he go? Should he stay or should he go? So we're going to put a poll in the chat. And I want to know what you guys think. We're going to look at it in a little while. We're going to see. Okay, here we go. And guys, before we keep on going, remember to like the video. What are you waiting for? Make sure that you click that like button. Let's not get lazy over here, guys. We're getting top 4, semi-final of the Champions League. This season turned out to be amazing. Come on, let's go. Click that like button. This season turned out to be freaking amazing. Imagine that. Okay. Let's get this ready. Let's get all of this set up. All right, here we go. Daichi Kamada. Don't know who this guy is. Never seen him before. Apparently, this player might be the replacement for Diaz. But I'm thinking, does he need to be the replacement for Diaz? Because from reports I saw, he agreed personal terms with AC Milan for 3 million point something a season, which is more or less what Bakayoko is getting. So why instead of him being the replacement for Diaz, why not be the replacement for Bakayoko and start making the quality of depth better? Anyway, let's check him out. So plays in Germany with Ndika. I just saw Ndika there. Kamada, Japanese international. Let's look at him. Okay. Diagonal shot. He scores a bunch of goals. The report said he scores more goals than useless highlight there. Interesting. Very difficult to tell from these highlights what kind of player he is. So we're just going to be talking about his overall technical ability and what I'm seeing. And then I want to know what you guys think too. I mean, for the ones that probably saw full games with him, you probably know what he looks like in the span of 19 minutes. Is this a joke, guys? Are we joking here? Wow. I'm sorry to disappoint some of you guys, but this is very underwhelming. Wait, what is special about this guy? I don't know, guys. If you've seen this player play live, play a full 90-minute game, I'm curious what you say in the chat. Based on just his foundations, I'm not that impressed, to be honest with you. I mean, he seems like a pretty normal player, nothing spectacular. Maybe this highlight reel is really just poor, but I'm not seeing anything that stands out. From a technical ability, from the way he carries himself on the ball, unless this highlight reel is really dog shit, and it's like pick moments of the games, like right there, he should have passed the ball maybe. Okay, guys, if this is the player that it seems to be, I would give this signing maybe a 5 out of 10. Like, technically, he does not look like he is anything special. Now, remember checking out his stats the other day. Possession-wise, Benacer is superior. Just the difference was the goals and the assists. Interesting. I find this one very difficult to assess because I'm hearing a lot of people say a lot of good things about this player, but I'm not seeing anything special, guys. I'm seeing extreme average player. There's a million players like this all over Europe, all over the world. Interesting. I don't know, guys. What am I crazy? What do you think? Let me see what you guys think. I'm gonna go all the way down. So Vasil likes him a lot. He says this perfect sign right now, free, so we could spend money at right wing or striker. Okay, so that is actually a pretty good way to look at it. Yeah, he's free. Therefore, we don't have to spend all this money on the transfer. And, I mean, okay, he could be good for depth, 27, already good experience in Europe. So maybe depth is good. And also, he's a starter in the Japanese national team, Japan, a team that right now is doing pretty well. So definitely increase in depth. But let me say this. According to the stats that we saw the other day on SofaScore, both Benacer and Tonali are above him in the midfield position. Is he really better than Diaz though? Is like, how better is this player than Diaz? Interesting. Okay, so let me see what you guys say about this player. Let's go. Oh, guys, we got a nice super chat. Thank you, Mr. Vasil. $5. Forza Milan. Cannot wait for top 4. Hell yeah, guys. Let's see. That should be confirmed today. Hopefully. Hey, hey, guys, by the way, go to Milan Channel TV, subscribe. Our buddy Rock did a live the other day showcasing his experience in Milano. He went to see the second leg of the Champions League semifinal, Inter versus Milan. He took a lot of pictures of the city, but he took a lot of pictures of the stadium, videos of the stadium, videos of the museum, and he talks about his experience there, and he talks about his the players. So definitely, guys, go to Milan Channel TV, subscribe, and check out his last live. Very, very cool, guys. Very, very cool. Listen, yo, dude, I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, he reminds me a lot of Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Like, technically very similar, right? Technically, he's very similar to Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Interesting. Honda. Oh man, Honda was. Is he a Honda? I don't know. Roy, look at Ezequiel Palacios. He was linked to us. I saw his highlights. He's a beast like Krunic, but with more quality. Okay, we might check him later. Kamada is actually decent, Anwar says. Getting Honda vibes here. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? He's a free agent. I guess that's the only positive thing I'm seeing. But I mean, is this a standout player, guys? Is it? That special Honda. Honda was better. He's free FC. Bruschetta. Loan plus option FC. Okay, we'll check Bruschetta. Free Origi now, free Honda. He literally destroyed Barca last season on Camp Nou. Just bring Kessie back. Should have given the 5 million. I 100% agree. All right, so Kamada, great positioning, will score goals and very unselfish. Good work rate and will score goals. Interesting. Bro, he's good. Trust me. Yeah, 5 out of 10, guys. Listen. This is just my opinion, guys. Don't kill the messenger. Don't kill the messenger. All right. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. According to what I saw right now, which is obviously not enough information, for me, this is a 5 out of 10 signing. Nothing special, guys. But I'm not going to commit to that. It's just the way this feels for now. I'll take your guys' word for it that he's a good player, but I'm not convinced at all about those highlights. All right. Brahim Diaz. In, out. Here we go, guys. Let me know in the chat what you think. Vote. And make sure you click that like button as you vote too. We're going to come back to this in 15 minutes, and I want to see what you guys think in and out. Now, remember, before you click in or out, remember that right now, as things stand, since January, Brahim Diaz is the second player with the most assists in all the 5 top leagues, meaning he has more assists than Bruno Fernandes. He has more assists than Messi. He has more assists than Neymar. He has more assists than whoever is in Bayern, whoever is in. The only person that has more assists than him is Kevin De Bruyne. Okay, so remember that. Let's not forget that. All right, guys, here you go. Brahim Diaz. Let me know what you think. In or out. Okay, let's get back to Sempre Milan. Let's talk about the market. So, let's see what this article says about potentially we might have 100 million to spend, how that's going to work. And I want to know what you guys in chat think about it as well. So, Gazzetta dello Sport. This morning edition of La Gazzetta dello Sport reports that Milan could invest 100 million to strengthen Stefano Pioli's team, which would come from the budget set aside plus the sum of savings on the salaries of players who will leave and the transfer fees they bring in. There will not be a huge overhaul in the summer, and 13-14 players who have shown themselves to be of Milan caliber will be built around, with restructuring interventions to be carried out so that the reserves offer more guarantees. And that's exactly what we were asking for. That's all we were asking for. Look, we have, this article says 13-14, sure. Let's say it is 13-14. We have 13-14 players that are Milan caliber. Now we need to bring in another 11 or so that are also Milan caliber, and then we will be a top team, no doubt about it. For example, Milan are paying out 5.2 gross for Divock Origi's salary, and they believe they could sell him for around 7 to 8 million, which would help top up the budget. Serginho Dest and Timoko Bakayoko, 5.2 million and 4.6 million in salaries. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. Will not be bought permanently. So basically, getting rid of these players is going to free up a lot of money, right? So what I was saying earlier, okay, take away Timo Bakayoko, replace him with Kamada. Okay, so there you go. You're replacing Timo Bakayoko with a free agent. You're just taking Bakayoko's salary, a portion of his salary, and you're going to give it to Kamada. Serginho Dest, also. Serginho Dest is actually the one that is making the 5.2 million. I mean, we are paying Serginho Dest some crazy amount of money. We don't need to be paying him all this money. Take him out, give that money to a player that we will actually need. There's a lot of free agents that are coming up during the summer. And guys, yes, I'm going to say it. I know some people are going to celebrate. Some people are going to celebrate. I say this with a heavy heart. Florenzi has a big wage, and maybe things just didn't go the way they were supposed to. Now I still think that Florenzi is an amazing footballer. It's a luxury to have him, but when a player is never available, what's the point? What's the point? He's also taken up something like 3 million or something. I'm not sure how much he's taken up, but use those wages for another player. So there's a lot of players in AC Milan who are just taking up wages who are pretty much useless. Okay, they're pretty much useless. Some of these players are really good, like Florenzi, but Florenzi, guys, has these issues with injuries that are just crazy. But then you have these other players like Rebic. Rebic's time at Milan is done. It's finished. Origi should not be at Milan next year. Is just the guy is one of the most paid players in the team. Why is he one of the most paid players in the team when his offensive output is pretty much non-existent? Then you have Bakayoko, you have Dest. Also reports saying Adli is going to go. Vranks is going to go. Ibra is going to go. Maybe Messias, if we're going to get a right winger, we could probably have to sell Messias or Salamakers. I'm thinking more Messias since he's a little bit older. So a lot of players. And also, guys, right now we have the center forward position. There's supposed to be 3 players in that taking up that role. There's supposed to be 3 options for the center forward. We only have one. Ibrahimovic was supposed to be one of those options, but he has not been an option a whole season. Giroud is the only option. Origi is a non-option. Okay, Ante Rebic, 4.5 million salary, can leave for around 4 to 5 million in transfer fees. Furthermore, it is unlikely that Astor Vranks will be bought permanently from Wolfsburg, so his 1.9 million salary will be saved. The departure of Cyprian Tatursano, Mirante, Balotelli, Yacine Adli, Zlatan Ibrahimovic are expected, creating further wiggle room, with Adli expected to depart on loan or even permanently if a big enough bid arrives. Those outgoing players would result in a saving of about 28 million in salaries, and another 20 million could come from player sales, to which 50 million must be added. That was going to be made available from the budget regardless. So basically, according to this report, now remember, last year around this time we had similar reports. We were all laughing at these reports. It's like, what, 50 million? Haha. We were all laughing. It turned out to be true. So let's learn from last year. This is probably true. We're going to get 50 million, but this year the major difference is that this year there needs to be this overhaul. We do have a lot of players here like Tatursano, Mirante, Balotelli, Adli, Ibrahimovic, Origi, Vranks, Dest that are going to go, and you need to replace these bodies with other bodies. So this is a great opportunity for Milan to finally build a top-notch roster. Now is the time. Maldini has no excuses. He doesn't have to re-sign any contracts with the management. The ownership is not changing. This is going to be Cardinale's first summer mercato. So there's no doubt that we're going to see movement in this mercato. Whether or not it's going to be good movement, we will find out. So far, Kamada, not impressed, but it is what it is. Okay. I remember in bossing Barca midfield, not many midfielders can boss Barca midfield playing against him. Okay. All right, listen, I'll take your word for it. I think a 3-man midfield with Tonali as an 8 and Bennacer as the 6 is much better. Tonali starts attacking-wise are insane. Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I definitely don't agree with that. Origi is not a bad signing. We just have a coach who does not know how to utilize. No, Origi is a terrible signing, my man. I mean, whatever. It's opinions. Opinions are opinions. There's no point in debating opinions. Maybe we should get Baldanzi. Oh, guys, let me talk a little bit about that. Very interesting. So the U20 World Cup started this past few days, and surprisingly, Italy beat Brazil 3-2. I was extremely surprised. I would have never expected the U20 Italian team to beat Brazil. Happy, of course, but very, very surprised. So a few things to note. Let me start with Brazil first. So Brazil, packed, talented players, very skillful. You can already see the future of Brazil is in good hands. A lot of them, just all of them, are ballers. But team is very unorganized. They just look like it. Just looked like the difference was that the players that played in Italy seemed more experienced, even though they're maybe even younger, but they seemed more experienced and much more organized. I thought that was the biggest difference. But interestingly enough, when we talk about talents, guys, there were three players in that pitch that were better than everybody else. And all three of them were Italian, which is very strange because when it comes to Brazil and Italy, it's always Brazil that has the better players. But anyway, Baldanzi, Pafundi, and Casadei, these three players, very interesting players to look at for the future. Very interesting players. Um, Now, this game that Italy won 3-2, it's only the first game of the World Cup, so it doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean that Brazil is not one of the favorites. It doesn't mean that Italy is one of the favorites either. It's just the first game of the World Cup. So it was just very interesting. You don't get to see Italy at that age bracket do well, usually, historically, but it was very interesting to see. But anyway, very interesting, guys. There's a young Italian player that Mancini has been calling up for the national team. He plays with Udinese, but he never gets to play. You never see him play because he's always on the bench. He's always riding the bench. But Mancini called him up for the seniors. We did see him a little bit in the national team for a few minutes here and there. But yesterday, I got to see him for a full 90 minutes. Pafundi, 16 years old, total baller. Total baller. So if there's a player that we should be getting, guys, that is probably going to be one of the top G's of the future, is this 16-year-old kid called Pafundi. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Just extremely technical, extremely confident, just dances on the ball, dribbles through everybody, plays in with both feet, extremely technical. Very, very interesting. But anyway, guys, the U20 is a very interesting World Cup. If you get the chance, definitely follow it. A lot of good players: Argentina, Brazil, Italy, France, Senegal, Nigeria, England. So there's a lot of very good teams and a lot of interesting talents to look. I'm sure all the scouts of world football are right now in Argentina looking at the U20 World Cup, because a lot of these new generation talents are going to be put on display, especially the talents that you don't get to see very often, like the African talents, the South American talents, especially from those regions of the world. I'm sure the scouts are going to be looking at them very, very closely. So I'm very interested to see who are going to be the standout players of this World Cup. Usually the standout players of the U20 World Cup tend to be top Gs in the future. So hopefully Milan sent their scouts there. We know Serginho is a South American scout. It is in Argentina, so they probably sent Serginho over there. Let's see what comes out of the U20 World Cup. Very, very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Kamada is better. Diaz is fast but limited. Okay, guys. Okay. All right. Do not watch combined highlights. Watch highlights from the player in a singular game to see what he does every match. Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. I think Origi had a fair first season with changing tags and lineups. I expect more from him, but I expect much more from Pioli to find a position for Origi, even CDK. If Kamada is 5 out of 10, when Ruben Loftus-Cheek maximum cheeks is a minus 15 out of 10. Diaz out. All right, guys. See. Let's see what you guys voted. Let me check. Where are we? Where are we with the poll? Interestingly enough, 34 votes, 65% of you so far have been saying in. So the majority so far says in. The majority in this channel. So there's, I guess, a lot of pro Diaz viewers. Okay. Interesting. We'll wait another 10 minutes to finalize it and see. All right, guys. So there it is. We might have 100 million to spend for the summer. If that is the case, I don't think 100 million is a lot, because this 100 million is not exclusively for transfers. This 100 million also includes wages and salaries. So if you really think about it and you divide this into numbers, there's a lot of free agents in the market right now. During the course of the year, we saw on Instagram these posts that were outlining all the free agents available for this summer. There's like 50 of them. All categories, from elite to non-elite. When I say elite, yeah, Messi is going to be a free agent, for heaven's sake. All the way down to the lower categories. There's a shit ton of free agents. So when you have this kind of money to spend, you can definitely get a few free agents that can help you build your roster. You have to be very careful though, because free agents, you tend to pay them more. For example, Origi, a player that he was a free agent, so we paid him more. But it is an opportunity with this extra money that we have to get a good number of free agents, a lot of quality free agents in the market this summer to get. Plus, we can get a few players on loan. So there was rumors today that came out about Zaniolo being a player that once, apparently, according to his entourage, Zaniolo wants Milan. And there is a proposition of him coming to Milan on loan with obligation or an honorable loan, whatever it is. But that's just an idea, right? So another player that is being linked to Milan, which could come on loan, is Scamacca. Scamacca is another player on loan. It seems like West Ham, there's no feeling with West Ham and Scamacca. It was a bad season for Scamacca at West Ham. Scamacca in Italy probably would do better. He definitely did very well the year before he was transferred to West Ham. So Milan is being linked with Scamacca. That could be on loan. So with that 100 million, you can get a good number of free agents, a few on loan players, and you can also use that money for transfers, to sign players. Now, yeah, it's not Chelsea. We have 600 million to spend for all the players in the world, but it is a budget that, if you use it properly, you can create an excellent squad. Again, let's look at Napoli. What did Napoli do this summer? They barely spent anything. They just used their brain. By the way, the brain behind Napoli's transfer market seems to be going to Juve. Giuntoli is going to Juventus. But yeah, that's a good example. And another even good example of how to use your money intelligently was Milan's summer transfer the year prior, when we spent that money for confirming Tomori. We spent that money for Magnan. We spent that money for Giroud. We spent that money for Messias, for Florenzi, and for Tonali. That year, those signings, in conjunction with the team that we already had, helped us win the Scudetto. So that was a very intelligent summer we had with limited funds. This year, with more funds, apparently, if we can get rid of all this deadweight players, we will have more funds than we've ever had. But of course, it's not going to be that Real Madrid kind of transfer market, that Chelsea kind of transfer market with the marquee signings. It has to be an intelligent an intelligent summer. It's going to be, that's what it's going to come down to. Intelligent signings that make sense, that bring the quality up, that players that are suited for their roles. And I don't think we have any excuses to fuck this up, really. You know, I don't think we have any excuses to fuck this up. All right, let's go back to chat. Let's see what some of you guys are thinking about this 100 million. I'm curious to know. Let me tell you, our three strikers for next season: Giroud, Arnautovic, and Scamacca. Loan plus option. This is what we'll do. I don't see us spending a big for a striker. Now, to be honest with you, Giroud, Arnautovic, and Scamacca, those three, it's not that bad, to be honest with you. It's not incredible, but it's not that bad. It's 100 million. We have no excuse not to get a striker that isn't middle-aged. Yeah, guys, and I actually like the fact that you guys are talking about strikers, because I think the striker is going to be the most important player that we need to get. And that's a player that we can't fuck up, you know. That's why we should buy Diaz for 20 million. He's better than that Walmart Kaka. The big funds will go to a right winger and Kessie replacement. Maybe, or a striker, but yeah, could be. I agree, but we should buy a proper starter for that position. Diaz needs competition there, and CDK must never play Cam in the system. Now, let's talk about CDK. That's a good segue, because there's another very interesting report regarding CDK and his potential future with AC Milan. So we're moving fast today, guys. We're moving fast. We're going through all the reports. A lot of news, guys. I love it. The summer is back. Milan news is back. So let's go to Di Marzio, one of the more reliable journalists. Says Ketelaere was Milan marquee signing during the last summer transfer window after the Scudetto win. We all know this. Milan are concentrated on matters on the field with a fundamental objective of qualifying for the next edition of the Champions League, but it's natural that Paolo Maldini and Ricky Massara are already planning the season ahead. We know this. Di Marzio took stock at Milan strategies and movements live on Sky, starting with analyzing the situation regarding the future of the Ketelaere. So Di Marzio, guys, remember, Di Marzio is not a guy that says bullshit. His sources usually are correct. Let's see what he says. I think Milan will wait for the Ketelaere. Even Tonali and Leão didn't live up to expectations in their first years. Given the precedents, I think CDK too will be given another opportunity, he said. It will also depend on the type of request that the player will have, but I don't think Milan will loan him, for example, to Bruges. An Italian solution should be found. So yes, I did read this article in Italian, and essentially, if he is going to be going out, it's going to be going out on loan at an Italian club. And I was thinking Monza could be a good solution for him, right? Monza can be a good solution for him. I think it's a team whose objectives aren't that crazy, where the pressure is not absolutely crazy, and it's a team where you can really develop a little bit of character and personality, and just grow muscle, grow personality, something that he definitely lacks. But not only Monza, I'm sure there's many other options. But CDK, according to Di Marzio, is still a player that Milan is looking to grow, prioritize. It is an investment that they have not given up on. This season for CDK has been absolutely the most atrocious season I've ever seen from a marquee signing from Milan. Can you guys think of any other player that Milan bought who was supposed to be the marquee signing of the summer who has flopped as hard as CDK? Can you guys think of anybody like that? I really can't think of anyone that has flopped as hard as CDK. But regardless of that, it doesn't mean that his future has been written, you know. Let's see what happens. You know, you have to give these players the time to grow, the time to acclimate, etc. A good summer preparation with a team will do wonders for him. Pioli has to do better. This is something, if we want to talk about Pioli, this is something that, yes, I can have a discussion about Pioli and the way he uses CDK. I think Pioli needs to find a better solution for CDK. Obviously, that attacking midfield role for CDK. Essentially, Pioli's asking CDK to be SMS, and he's not cutting it. So maybe that is not his role. Maybe that is not his role, and Pioli needs to do better to find a better solution for him. Guys, by the way, make sure that you click that like button. Make sure that you click that like button, and you support Milan content on YouTube. This is very exciting times, guys. Very exciting times. Okay, Mua Victor says, I'm also not impressed by Kamada. Milan need a right winger like Kang. Okay, I don't know who that player is. I don't know who that player is. But I'll take your word for it. No, so please no, man. If it's all going to be the right wing, number 10, number 8, I'm not mad, but we need a striker for sure. Scamacca might actually not be a bad option, more useful than the other two. Okay. Let's keep on going. Let's hear what you guys got to say. Origi cost us a lot for its modest qualities. Yes, for sure, Marco. I'm actually very happy we're signing Kamada. I swear, guys. I watched him many of his games. He's a smart and talented player, and with a lot of stamina. Okay, listen, I'll take your word for it. Obviously, highlights can be deceiving. Those highlights did not do him justice at all. So I'm not going to commit to what I saw from those highlights to judge who Kamada is. If you guys think Kamada is this really good player that is going to do well, I'll take your word for it. Vasil says, sorry, but Origi need to be shipped out express delivery like yesterday. That's hilarious. That is hilarious, guys. Absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Andre Silva at least looked alive. CDK is a dead man walking. Andre Silva, yeah, maybe Andre Silva looked a little bit better, right? Higuain is a comparable flop because of his status prior to arriving in Milan. Good call. Very good call. Total flop. Bonucci, total flop. Like the video, guys. Come on, ragazzi. Let's like the video. Let's do it. Rock, so what, your engagement ring? Fuck that, Jerry. Better pay up, and we have to drive by. Kamada is a profile you rarely see, Roy. A third man, but is not a CDM. He plays Cam or CM as a third man. Okay, guys, listen, we will see. We will see. We will see who Kamada is, and we will give them more chances. As I said, the reports are claiming this, that as of now, Milan has found personal agreement with the player. Even though the player has many requests from different teams, Kamada has said yes to Milan. Kamada has said yes to Milan. Take these reports with a grain of salt, whatever you want. But so far, the reports are claiming that Kamada has said yes to Milan, but nothing is concrete yet. The reports are also saying that this will depend on what happens with Diaz. Now, that I don't agree with. I want to know, who is Milan going to replace Bakayoko with? Who is Milan going to replace Vranks with? Why should we replace these players with top Gs, not reserves? I would like to see us keep Brahim Diaz, let's say, and also get Kamada and bring in SMS. Why not? And bring in SMS. Hell yeah. Okay, let's keep on going, guys. More reports. Let's talk about this report regarding Zaniolo before we move on to the Juventus stuff, which is very, very interesting. Okay, according to Gazzetta dello Sport, again, Gazzetta dello Sport going crazy. Carlo Laudiza, editor-in-chief. Let's see what he says. La Gazzetta dello Sport reports that this morning, escape to Istanbul allowed Niccolò Zaniolo to rediscover a serenity that was irretrievably lost in Rome after his fallout with the Giallorossi. At Galatasaray, the winger striker found some consistency and has contributed to the success of the Turkish club, even though Red John says that he is being benched by an Albanian player that he doesn't rate very highly. Anyway, the heading for the title says that Zaniolo cannot wait to go home. Zaniolo has a 30 million release clause built into his deal, but the hypothesis of a loan is not excluded by his entourage, which allows potentially interesting clubs to overcome the economic difficulty of bringing him back to the Serie A. At this stage, more inquiries have received than expressions of a concrete interest, while the 23-year-old would be happy to join either Milan or Juventus. It is the Rossoneri are looking to refresh their attack, considering Junior Messias could leave. Stefano Pioli needs to find players with more quality and personality in that area of the pitch, so Zaniolo could be the man. Pellegatti also today had a video talking about this, where he claimed that he spoke to people close to Zaniolo's entourage, and essentially Zaniolo has made it clear that he wants to join AC Milan. He wants to join AC Milan. This is not news. This is not breaking news. We already knew this in January. Zaniolo wanted to come to Milan. Milan wanted to get Zaniolo, but Roma did not accept Milan's propositions. Jerry Cardinale did not want to meet Roma's demands, and Zaniolo ended up going to Galatasaray. He broke his relationship with Roma, so he had to leave and go to Galatasaray. But remember, when he left, there was this feeling that Galatasaray was just a place where he would be for the time being until he would find the club that he wants to go to, and Milan being one of those clubs. So I know a lot of people are not big fans of Zaniolo. They don't rate him very highly. I think Zaniolo is a top talent. Definitely disciplinary problems for sure, undeniable. Because if you look at how many yellow cards he gets in the course of the season, it definitely tells you something about his discipline on the pitch. But he's definitely his work rate is off the charts. He runs up and down the field. He has quality. We've seen incredible moments of Zaniolo, but we've also seen some moments of Zaniolo that need to be, spoken about. Is he the right guy for the job? The most positive thing I can think about Zaniolo is that in Europe and the Conference League, he did exceptionally good for Roma. When Roma won the Conference League, he got 11 goal contribution only in the Conference League, scoring in the final the winning goal. So that's not bad. 11 goal contribution in a Conference League, of course, is not the Champions League. It's not anything crazy, but he's only 23 years old. Who knows? This kid could become a super top G. He already has the qualities of a top G. Mancini, the coach of the national team, has recently said that in his mind, when he thinks of Italian national team's offensive lineup, Zaniolo is in that lineup. So he's considered to be one of the most highly rated Italian attackers. This is a player that I would like to see at Milan. I definitely would like to see at Milan. And if it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, let's see who else we get. Zaniolo is being benched by Milo Rashica, who is basically flunky. Okay. Hit the like button, guys. We got 50 people watching. Make sure to hit that like button, guys. Let's do it. And on. Come on, let's go. And guys, if you are ever in Macedonia, I know what city is your restaurant in. Visit Andon's restaurant if you want the best burgers of Southeast Europe, of the whole of Europe, the whole world. Visit Andon's restaurant. Andon, why don't you put Skopje? So make sure when you visit Skopje, go to name of the restaurant, Ranchero, guys. Go to Ranchero. Best burgers in Europe, and also Milanista. The burgers are Milanista, so it can't go wrong. It cannot go wrong. Make sure you go there, guys. I only wanted Zaniolo plus Dybala last summer, nothing else, guys. Dybala, man. Wow. We missed out on Dybala. We definitely missed out on Dybala. Dybala not signing for us shows how dumb our project is. Yeah. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. All right, guys, let's move on to some very, very interesting, exciting news. Exciting news, guys. I mean, let's not get our hopes high too much because nothing is official yet, and also it kind of feels dirty. It kind of feels corrupt because do we really deserve this? But it looks like, check this out, guys. Now we're going to find out by the end of today what happens. This is going to be one of the main pieces of the day. It's going to be one of the main topics of the next few weeks. This might outline the destiny of AC Milan. It looks as though Juventus will be given an 11-point penalty for their capital gains case, which has provided yet another twist in the top four race. Juventus were given a 15-point deduction as part of the ongoing capital gains case, but they had the penalty revoked last month. But it was also known that there would be a new trial in which the FEGC, Federal Court of Appeal, would determine their punishment. According to TMW, among other sources, the new request from the federal prosecutor Giuseppe Chinet in the context of the capital gains trial against Juventus, which is being staged today in the Federal Court of Appeal, is an 11-point penalty. Now, Juventus right now is at 69 points. If 11 points would be deducted, that means that they would go to 58 points. That would bring them all the way down here at 8th spot, just above Monza. And let's say they win both their games, 58 plus 6. That'll be 64. They can end the season with 64 points maximum, if that is the case. But, guys, check it out. If that does happen, again, I say this with, I mean, I don't know. Should we be, I don't know if we should be happy about this, but whatever. It is what it is. That would mean that Milan would jump into 4th spot, and pretty much Milan would secure their fourth spot unless they fuck up really badly the last 2 games. But that would mean, yes, that Juventus would go down to 58 points. Milan would be at 64, 4th spot. Atalanta only 3 points behind us. Now, we do have 2 very difficult games. Juventus, we're playing against Juventus next. We know that Juventus is not an easy team to beat. Of course, they're not. They're the second team of the Serie A this season. And then we have Verona. Verona, a team that is very interesting, a team that we have history with. There's a reason why we call her Fatale Verona, because Verona, for some reason, twice in our history has taken us out of our objectives. But whatever, I'm not going to talk about that so much. Anyway, 2 difficult games. If we can win both of them and Juventus gets this point deduction, for sure we finish top 4. If we can tie one, win the other, also I'm sure we will finish top 4. Okay, so not only that, but he has asked for an 8-month suspension to be handed down to the club officials who were implicit in the case. The verdict means that Juventus will move down to 58 points, putting them 6 behind Milan with a game in hand, who are now in 4th place. It adds an extra spice to Sunday night's game in Turin too, which could become a must-win for the Bianconeri. Wow. What a finale, guys. Call it corruption, call it the dirt and grime of the Serie A, but what a freaking finale this is going to be. So Juventus, for Juventus, it's a must-win game. It is a must-win game. Now, 58 points is only 6 points behind us. But again, if we can just tie that game against Juve, hopefully we can win it, then it's over. It's finished. It's done. So let's see what happens, guys. That's going to be very interesting. I'm curious to know how you guys feel about this situation. Do you feel good about it, or do you feel like Milan does not deserve? They not really deserve the top 4, or do you think, Juventus cheated? Well, they cheated with their capital gains, and those capital gains they did help them get the results they got. So it is correct that their points get deducted, which means that we get it helps us. How do you guys feel about this? Let me know in chat, guys, how you feel about it. Andra, restaurant better than McDonald's for sure. It is. CDK will go to Andrew's restaurant and come back looking like Basquirato. I told you, Roy, we will regret Dybala. Yeah, Dybala, fantastic player, guys. I wish we got Dybala for sure. Andon's Burgers increased IQ, guys. Trust me. Check the rumors about Morata, Roy. Now, yes, I'm aware of the Morata rumors. Morata is an interesting player that can bring in experience. Definitely some interesting qualities to the attack, leadership. I mean, at the end of the day, Morata is the top striker of Spain, but at the same time, he's not the best striker that Spain ever had. He's not an incredibly insane striker, but he's definitely a good striker for sure. We can all agree on that. Roy, we qualify for a Champions League if Roma win Europa, even if Juve gets points deducted. If Roma win Europa, even if, if they get points deducted, we sure definitely will. After eating food from Andon's restaurant, you'll be able to walk on water. Trust me. I love it. Ranchero over Burger King. For sure, guys. Remember to go to Ranchero. Just 11 points. Yeah, it looks like it is. Guys, we've got Lucas in the house. Haven't seen Lucas in a while. Roy, do you think Pioli has gradually failed to improve young talent compared to previous seasons? I believe so. Do the increase in pressure every season? Listen, we've had this conversation many times. We've spoken about this a lot of times. Everybody has their own opinions, so I'm just going to give you mine. I think that Pioli has had a lot of time to develop Leão, a lot of time to develop Tonali, and a lot of time to develop all these players. But then once you've won the Scudetto, and then the next season, the objective is to retain the Scudetto, defend the title, and also do well in Europe, you don't have that much time to develop players that probably need a lot of time to develop. So I think it's a little bit unfair to say that he failed to improve young talent. I think young talent improves gradually. They don't improve in the course of one season, but more than that for the most part. Then, of course, you do have some talents that all they need is one season. Others need 3 or 4. I think that this season, Pioli was given 2 objectives: defend the title. 3 objectives: defend the title, finish top 4, defend the title, and do well in the Champions League. But the roster that was given to him was not at the standards. Plus, all the injuries that we had this season did not help. Because now you have all these injuries that take out the first players, and you have to rely on your backup players. That does not help at all. So I've told you guys what my opinion is on this. A lot of people don't agree with me. They think Pioli fucked it up. I think the Mercato was fucked up, not so much Pioli. Perfect 3-man midfield would be Tonali, Bennacer, and Adli. Monza would actually be great for his development, and I really rate the coach. Top 5 coach in the league. Palladino doing very good. Absolutely, no doubt about it. Surely it's better for the season to be over before the points are deducted. Yeah, it's very interesting how they're doing this during the course of the season. It definitely affects the season. I think this season is a little bit stained by that. Need Atalanta to take points off of Inter. They play them 3 days after Coppa Italia final. Yeah, that's a good point as well. For sure. Okay, let's read a few more reports that came out. Interesting reports regarding the Mercato. Let's actually, before going to that, let's see what this says, because I also saw that Juventus might get a heavy blow in Europe as well. There's this concept of affliction that only concerns sporting justice, not ordinary justice. It will probably be a penalty that should block the way to the Champions League. We'll see if it will be 10, 11, or 13 points for us Juventus fans. It's a big blow. The moment the Italian sentences become definitive, then decisions will also be made in UEFA headquarters. And then there's the second strand of the wage bill. Juve excluded from the European competition by UEFA is a possible scenario. There are rumors suggesting that UEFA wants to ban Juve out of Europe for 5 years. Now, of course, that's not going to happen, but these reports did come out yesterday in Italian media. That's insane. All right, guys. Let's close the Brahim Diaz poll. 60 votes, and we are impasse. 50-50. 50% in, 50% out. One more poll for the day. Let's pick one more poll for the day. One more poll for the day. Does Milan deserve top 4 with Juve's point deduction? Want to know how you feel. Yes or no? Guys, let me know. Do you feel clean about it? Are you going to brag about it? Or are you going to say, you know, this season was bad. We got lucky. Juventus got its points deducted. You know, let's keep it real. But maybe you do feel the other way. Let me know. Okay. Let's go to this. Scamacca. Scamacca, very interesting player. A player that I've been looking at for a very long time. A player that is very interesting because he definitely has incredible qualities for a striker, but I've always thought that there was something missing when it came to his brain. It just feels like there's something missing when it comes to his personality, his charisma, etc. But you cannot deny that the year he had in Sassuolo was absolutely outstanding. 16 goals. Some of those goals were absolute screamers against us. And of course, one of his best attributes is his hold-up play. Very, very good at hold-up play. Maybe, guys, don't get this twisted. Don't get this twisted. Maybe closer to Ibrahimovic than any other player out there, just as far as his hold-up play, meaning his ability to lay off the ball one touch with precision, and also does it with flair. He definitely has those qualities, you know, in the bag. Now, definitely nowhere near the personality of Ibrahimovic. Nowhere near that personality. So I think if there is a weakness when it comes to Scamacca, it is his personality. I feel like there's something missing there. It's just a feeling I have, a sensation I have from looking at this player, analyzing him. But there's definitely a lot of pros when it comes to Scamacca. Technically, incredible player. Tactically, very, very useful if you can get him to perform for you, especially in a team like AC Milan that relies on the layoff game of the center forward. Every single game, guys, how many times are we talking about how Giroud misses 5 layoffs in a row? All those layoffs allow you to hold the ball in the opposition's half and then to develop play in an organized manner. When you have a center forward that is very good at the layoff game, those layoffs help the midfield go up into the opposition half, and then you can control the game better that way. When you have a player that misses a lot of layoffs, then your game becomes discombobulated, it becomes unorganized. So these are definitely some qualities that Scamacca has. Anyway, so let's see what the reports are saying. Scamacca was expected to be the man leading the line for West Ham this season after the 40 million invested to sign him from Sassuolo, but he struggled thus far, and his season is over after he underwent surgery on a knee problem on 15th of April. La Gazzetta dello Sport writes that Milan have already come forward in a bid to potentially seize a low-cost opportunity, given that the London club appear open to the idea of a loan. Guys, a loan deal for Scamacca will be absolutely great. The details of operation have to be defined, but the conditions are all there. Of course, the RossonARI management first want to make sure that the center forward has fully recovered from the surgery, which will keep him out for 3 months. Damn, that's a big surgery. It is an understandable caution to take, also considering the recent precedent with Divock Origi, who was slow to recover from the injury suffered towards the end of his time with Liverpool. It affects his preseason, and he never got going. However, eyes are also on Juventus. Dusan Vlahovic is not certain of staying, given sanctions could exclude the club from European competitions, and the sale of the Serbian could thus lead the Bianconeri to go after Scamacca as well. Even if, according to Gazzetta dello Sport, editor-in-chief Carlo Laudiza, he says Milan are currently on pole. How do we feel about Scamacca, guys? Is this a player that you guys are excited about? Is he another Pietro Pellegrini? What's up with us getting all these injured players? Like, can we get players that don't get injured? I mean, one of the problems when you have a limited budget is that you can get these really good talented players, but a lot of these talented players have this injury baggage that comes with them, and it's a little bit unfortunately, but it is the way it is. But Pioli could have done more development. Yeah, CDK loan. And we can still make it second place, right? Can we? I'm not sure. I'll check. If everyone else loses, Milan wins all their games. Maybe. The sportsman in me saying this is what I wanted to hear. The sportman in me is saying our performances on the pitch do not merit top 4. The other part of me is saying fuck Juve. Now, I kind of agree with you. I think a lot of us with integrity agree with this. The sportsman in us is saying, yeah, like our performances were weak this year, but Juve did what they did, and they get what they get. I love that Roy wants healthy players and yet is asking for Zaniolo. Now, Zaniolo, ever since his injuries, has not fallen back into any other recurring injuries. He's been pretty healthy ever since his operations. He seems like he did recover from those operations, and he was getting back to his levels. So, yeah, Zaniolo is definitely someone with a baggage, but he's not coming to us injured, if he does. We shouldn't be sad about Juve's shit. They are dirty and now they're caught. We're Milan, and we need this more than that. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you there. We need this. We definitely need this. Boy, do we need this. Scamacca scored 17 goals with Sassuolo before signing with West Ham. Yeah, true. Milan Lab will show you what they can do. Now, Juve deserve a punishment. Forget our performances. This is Juve we're talking about. Well, we don't believe in justice anymore. Justice over sportsmanship. Hey, listen, that's a fair assessment. You know, that's a fair assessment. Thoughts on Balogun representing the US now, and Milan consistently linked to him. Balogun, good. I think he has very impressive numbers this season, so he's definitely a very interesting player. Him representing the U.S. over England, I mean, he was born in the U.S., so it makes sense. He could be an interesting player for us. He could be an interesting player. The American connection could be an interesting thing for us, since now we're owned by Americans. It could be good for marketing reasons, but also for pitch reasons, because his numbers in France do not lie. They definitely do not lie. So Balogun, another very interesting player that Milan is should be looking at, definitely, for sure. For sure. What is the link that you put on? What is it? Balogun is a criminal but a good footballer. He's a criminal. What did he do? USA, USA, USA. Guys, make sure you like the button. The click that like button. We have a few more reports to go to before we move on. A few more reports. Paul's favorite subject, guys. Our buddy Paul, his favorite subject. Tutto Sport, West Ham and Aston Villa keen on Milan flop, who could leave after a year. Now, West Ham, probably you can, this exchange could happen. Origi and West Ham, to me, that's a good fit. That's a good fit. I think Origi's style of football probably fits the EPL better. I mean, that's where he made his career, in the EPL. And West Ham is probably a good fit for Origi. I definitely see that as a good thing. Maybe Origi towards West Ham, Scamacca back in Italy. Maybe that could be an interesting solution there. But also Aston Villa. Let's see what this report says regarding Origi. According to a report from Tutto Sport, Origi can leave Milan in the summer window after just one season with RossonARI because he did not deliver what was hoped and expected. This was admitted by Paolo Maldini himself, the technical director, after the club's elimination in the Champions League at the hands of rivals Inter. Origi has played 35 games. My God, 35 games. Holy crap. Origi has played 35 games this season in Serie A, 26 probably from the bench. The Champions League, 26 Serie A, 8 Champions League. Okay, most of those games, of course, he's coming in from the bench. And the Supercoppa final, scoring just twice. He arrived on a free transfer from Liverpool with a lingering injury issue that affected his preseason preparations. Yeah, guys, remember that Origi in the preseason was injured for most of the preseason. And objectively speaking, that probably did affect his season. So now Milan could be satisfied with a small transfer fee in the summer, given it would be a pure capital gain. The 27-year-old gets $4 million net per season at Milan, which makes him one of the top earners. Premier League clubs, West Ham, Aston Villa, above all, are interested, but also some Turkish teams. Yeah, the prospect of seeing Origi go to West Ham and Scamacca come to Milan, that could be an interesting operation if that does happen. Paul being attacked, Origi slander. Soccer. Balogun is soccer, guys. He's the king of soccer. If Origi is flop, then what is Florenzi? CDK. Now, Florenzi, I don't think Florenzi is a flop, because when Florenzi plays, his contribution is very valuable. But Florenzi has been useless. That's the issue with Florenzi. Maybe the fact that he's injured for literally the whole season, that is what you can consider a flop. But the footballer, in our context, I do not consider that. I consider him to be depth coming in from the bench. CDK is definitely a flop for sure. No doubt about that. Rock out Milan Channel TV in. Guys, remember to subscribe to Milan Channel TV. Rock does a lot of lives there, a lot of good lives talking about Milan, and a lot of the awesome content. Firmino, guys. Let's talk about Firmino. There's a little bit of talk about Firmino. So Firmino, interesting player for the summer. Another one of those free agents. Remember, guys, another one of those free agents. A lot of free agents this summer available. Firmino could be an interesting prospect for Milan. Now, Firmino definitely has the experience. He's a player that in Liverpool did very well. He was a starter for many, many seasons. and also experienced the national team international, even though he was not called up for the national team this previous World Cup for Brazil. But we're talking about maybe one of Brazil's best number nines of this generation. Now we're not talking about the level of Ronaldo, of course, nowhere close, but we're talking about a player that definitely has talent. Definitely is an experienced player. Interesting prospect. Another interesting prospect that could come. For example, if you ask me, would you rather get if we're going to get older players, would you rather get Arnautovic or Firmino? I would go with Firmino. I think Firmino would probably be a better fit. But let's see what happens with that. What do you guys think about Firmino? Let me know in chat what you guys think about Firmino. Florenzi, a defender, has scored as many goals in his debut season as Origi. Listen, it is a shame that Florenzi is so injury prone, because when the guy is on, when the guy is good, he's great. He's a fantastic footballer. We need a proper striker, not any of these guys, to be honest. None of them look like hell. Take us to the next level. Well, listen, a proper striker. So, yeah, the problem is, for Napoli to get a proper striker, they spent 70 million. We have to guess whether or not these guys are going to become proper strikers. So we're playing this dangerous game of guessing, of gambling. We're essentially gambling. There's obviously, guys, every year there's a new striker that could potentially be the next big thing. So this summer mercato, there's definitely going to be a few strikers that are in that category. Hopefully Milan guesses who they are. Now the names that we're talking about are just the names that the media is linking Milan to. These are not names that I want or I personally will like, etc., etc. I'm just talking about the names that are being linked to Milan. Right now, today in the news is talking about Arnautovic, is talking about Scamacca, is talking about Okafor. We forgot about Okafor. There was a report suggesting that Milan could spend up to 20 million for Okafor, player that we saw him against us versus Salzburg. Young Swiss player, very young, already a lot of experience in Europe. Very interesting prospect, Okafor. So, we're talking about the players that are being linked to Milan. Right now, these are the players that are being linked to Milan. Are these the players that are going to be taking football by storm in the future? I don't know. I really do not know. If there's one prospect that I'm very interested about, is actually Baldanzi. There was reports suggesting that Milan was trying to look at Baldanzi also. Baldanzi, 19-year-old. He could be a very interesting prospect. But yeah, Kamada, I don't know. Is Kamada the dude, the guy? We will find out. And then, of course, guys, the name that has been linked to Milan the most in these past days has been Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Guys, what do we think of Ruben Loftus-Cheek? I am sorry, but this is a signing that does not. This signing to me is just red flag, red flag, red flag. Another player that, according to some of the research that our buddies in the WhatsApp chat did, very injury prone. A player that has been excluded from the national team quite a lot, already 27 years old. Already 27 years old, has been excluded from the national team a lot. A player that has a good, is inconsistent. Like, this cannot be our marquee signing. If Ruben Loftus-Cheek is our marquee signing for the summer, guys, we might as well be freaking called Lecce or Cremonese. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be, but I am going to be honest. I am going to be honest with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Ruben Loftus-Cheek does not excite me one bit whatsoever. I feel like this is another CDK, another Origi, another Rebic, another player that is going to have a very, very tough time um, adapting to Italy, adapting to the Milan universe, to the pressures of the San Siro, to Italian football. If you're not if by the age of 27 you're not kicking ass at the international level, how the hell are you going to adapt to the San Siro? I don't know. I might be wrong, guys. We might get this player and he turns out to be the best thing since sliced bread. Who knows? But this is a player that we're heavily linked with, and I'm not happy with this link whatsoever. Let me know what you guys think. We'll put that on the poll too. Okay, so Paul says, yes, Rock. Yes, Rock. We need players that play for their national teams. These are the players that play the highest level of football. The players that play in the national teams. Firmino is definitely a top player, a lot of experience, but man, this is another one of those. It could either go very well or very shit. I don't disagree with that. Firmino doesn't even get invited to the Churrasco anymore. We need enforcer CDM. Fuck the striking midfield needs out some Benacer. Oh, yeah, guys, Benacer is out 6 months, so we definitely need to make a signing. Here we go. Hashtag Firmino 20. 20 plus 1. 20 plus 1. I'll take Firmino over Arnautovic as well. Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Harry Kane will be free. Harry Kane. Wow. That would be nice if we could sign Harry Kane. Now, you see, I'm not anti-English players, guys. No, I'm not anti-English players. Harry Kane, okay, not the most exciting signing ever, but Harry Kane is like, okay, we're talking about what is considered the best English striker. Yeah, like that would be a good signing. We'll be free, and honestly, I don't mind if we spend 80 million. A very good player with huge 80 million on Harry Kane. Bro, that's literally all our budget. That means that we have to keep Bakayoko, Ranks, Dest, Origi, Rebic. I'll take Firmino over. Yeah, read that. From Origi 20 to Firmino 20. Looks like we're linked to Genoa player Albert Gudmundsson, right wing, 10 goals this season and his first season. Damn. Genoa, guys, I believe is being promoted to Serie A. Gilardino has done a pretty good job bringing Genoa back. Lucas Moura, Tottenham player, interesting player, talented player, also another player to look at. Colombo, we'll see what happens with Colombo. Now, Davis, Jonathan David, probably one of the best options out there in the market right now. Not being linked with Milan, though, as of now. Rock Roy's definitely biased towards the Italian players. That's for Florenzi's cheerleader, a glorified mascot. Biased towards Italian players. Why do I have to explain this every single time? I only look at the top talents. It doesn't matter what country you're from. If you're a top talent, I'm interested. Now, when you talk about the domestic players and the whole connection with the national team and the clubs, you have to look at the domestic players. You have to look at them. As I said, if AC Milan was a German club, we'd be talking about the German domestic talent. If it was a French club, we'd be talking about the French domestic talent, English domestic, Belgian, etc. Unfortunately, for some people here, Milan is an Italian club. So unfortunately, for some people here, we have to talk about the Italian players. Yes, we definitely need to build the bench, 100%. That is the priority, 100% the priority. Serie B, Christian, don't read too much into it. Ruben lift his butt cheek. Ruben Loftus Glautus Maximus cheeks. Hell no. Oh damn! Let's see. If Jerry is serious, he should try to get Kane because he's the only world class striker available right now. I mean, listen, I don't disagree with Kane. Kane is a top G for sure. Is he the best top G around? No, I don't know. I don't think so, but he's definitely one of the top Gs. Agendas yet again. The soccer flop cheeks. Uh oh. Another guy coming to Milan, get paid for no reason. RLC will be 4 months injured after stepping foot in Milanello. Oh Lord, we're screwed, aren't we? We are screwed. Okay, let's see what the poll says. We had a poll regarding Milan. Does Milan deserve top 4 with Juve's point deduction? 75% of you say yes. 25% of you say no. So the majority of you guys say yes. Perfect. Okay, guys, let's put this poll up. I just want to know your sensations, your feelings. This is just based on your instinct. I want to know what you guys feel about our calcio, our mercato, our summer mercato. Flop or top? What do you guys feel? I want to know what your feelings are. Again, of course, this is based on feelings because we don't have any concrete news. We just have reports, rumors, and etc. But this is just based on your gut feeling. Do you think that the summer mercato is going to be a flop or is it going to be a top? Let me know, guys. We'll look back in 15 minutes. I want to see what you guys think. All right, let's see if there's any other interesting reports that we could be looking at. We did cover most of them today. Okay, let's look at this one here about Adli. Adli, another player, big subject here, Adli. Milan paid 8 million to Bordeaux for Adli back in 2021 and agreed to leave him there on loan for 1 more season. As a result, the Frenchman joined the RossonARI last summer, but it hasn't been a successful season thus far. Registering just 140 minutes of playing time, he hasn't been able to provide himself to the management, and he might never get a chance. As reported by Gazzetta dello Sport, he could leave permanently this summer. Milan have decided that he could use a loan spell elsewhere next season, but they're also willing to let him leave permanently if a big enough offer arrives. Most Rossoneri fans will probably be hoping for a dry loan when a proper verdict can be made. Now, listen, I want to say something about Adli. This is my opinion. This is opinion. This is an opinion piece. I am upset that I didn't get to actually see Adli. I want to have my own assessment of Adli. I don't. All I have seen of Adli was his friendlies, where he usually was the best player. He was the most creative player. He was the most technical player. He was the most inventive player. He was the player with the most energy. So it's very difficult for me to assess Adli and what kind of contribution he could actually do for Milan. I wish I had the opportunity to actually talk to Pioli in depth about Adli. Why is Adli being seen as this player that is not good enough to be at Milan? Because that's how he has been used. He has been used as a player that is not considered to be good enough for Milan. So is Adli really this player that maybe he's too slow, maybe his reaction time is slow, maybe he's not, maybe his personality is not good enough, maybe he doesn't have discipline? Something there told Pioli and the trainers and the coaching and the analysts are telling him that Adli should be behind CDK, should be behind Brahim Diaz, whether it's politics. But at this point, CDK has been a flop. So there's no point in trying to salvage the CDK situation. So why not bring Adli to the forefront? I wish I had the opportunity to ask Pioli this question: what happened to Adli? It obviously seems that Adli is going in the same direction as Hagwe. It's basically Hagwe 2.0. A player that doesn't have the personality, doesn't have, something is missing. Something is missing, but I wish I knew what it was. The thing is that when it has come to Adli, the club has been completely non-transparent about him. They do not say anything about him. This player we see him celebrate in the I mean, the guy looks like he's in good spirits. Every time you see Adli, he's smiling, he's celebrating goals with the teams in training, he's working hard. Every time he even when Milan has big wins, he even does these posts on his Instagram, congratulating the team. He's proud to be a Milan player. So he hasn't lost this connection with Milan. It feels like from the outside that he loves being at Milan. But something is not connecting. I don't know what it is, guys. I wish I freaking knew. What do you guys think? Would you try? Ooh, this is a good one. Yeah, we'll talk about this one, guys. We will talk about this one for sure. We'll definitely talk about this one. As soon as we're done with this Ali thing, we're going to go back to that. Kane couldn't beat Italy in a Euro final. Ali is a billion gazillion times better than CDK. Rock is an undercover interista. Bakayoko as striker over Kane any day. Rock was with the Interistas at San Siro, right? He was surrounded by a lot of Interistas, that's for sure. Royd, he played the last 20 minutes for Spezia and he did more than CDK all season. Ali in pregame warm-ups was fantastic. Never lost the ball. Okay, there you go. There you go. Always took initiative to create space and opportunities. There's no reason he only got 140 minutes in the whole season. It is a mystery. It is a mystery, guys. He's obviously not doing it right. Either he's doing it too good or it's not good enough. It's one of the two. It's not in between. Ali has been treated unfairly. He's not worse than CDK. I totally think he's been treated unfairly. 100% he's been treated unfairly. I think they just don't like him, but it does not make sense. He's not playing. Yeah, it's very strange. The situation with him is very strange. I think with Benacer injury, Ali would probably stay. Interesting, Mustafa. That's actually very possible. You're right. What happened to Serginho Dest? Dest, I believe, just got forgot. They left him. They were at the bus station. They stopped at a gas station. They all went out to buy sandwiches, and they left Dest at the gas station. And they don't care to get him back. They definitely left him. I don't know what happened to Dest. He's not. Is he even in Milanello? I know he was in the US doing a tournament not too long ago. I don't know what he's doing right now, but obviously Dest is out of the picture 100%. Ali treatment makes me purely out almost. It's a very. I wish I could ask him what is going on with Ali. In shooting drill pregame, Ali banged in every shot. Ali even did a purely costume. Oh yeah, that's right. We're delusional if we think any player is leaving this summer. We're Ferrari FC. Just look at our boy Castileo. Now, that is another thing that needs to be spoken about. We do have a history of players that they love it. I mean, look at Ali. Like I was just saying right now, Ali is not fucking playing. He's not a footballer anymore, but he's always smiling. He's always happy. He loves being in the team. It's almost a problem that being at Milan is so good because the players that don't perform are so happy they don't want to leave. They don't care. Maybe Milan should be a little bit more of a harsher environment. Brahim Leão, everyone else skying every shot. Ali banging them in the bottom corners. Interesting. Roy, do you think the Ali situation has to do with what happened to him last year when he was removed from the starting 11? Could it be his work rate? Maybe Bejadine. Honestly, I don't know, but it could be his work rate. It could be his speed. Maybe he's not fast enough, because I do remember being a little bit, Pirlo-esque in his movements, meaning slow. But honestly, I don't know. Like, how can you judge a player if you never see him play? That's a problem. Is Napoli still a super team? 100%. Napoli is a super team, super roster. Congratulations to Napoli. And that's a great segue to this question. Spalletti or Pioli? So Spalletti looks like he's done. He's had these 2 years with Napoli. He's tired of having De Laurentiis in his ear all day. He's stressed the fuck out of it, and he wants to take a sabbatical year. Very Italian, by the way. You win a trophy and then you take a nap. You don't go and win the trophy again. Actually, you have a full stomach and you want to take a sabbatical year. Very Italian of him. Rest on your laurels. A Roman saying, to rest on your laurels. So it looks like Spalletti is going to not continue with Napoli. He's going to take a sabbatical year. The heavy rumors suggesting that he is on his way to Juventus with Giuntoli. So there's that to also look at. Would I take Spalletti over Pioli? I don't know if right now is the time to do that change, but one scenario that I did have in my head is that Pioli now was going to go on his last year at AC Milan, I believe. I believe 23-24 is his last year. I don't know if his contract goes to 24-25, guys. If you do know, please let me know in chat. But let's say Spalletti does take a year off and Pioli finishes his contract with AC Milan, then the next coach, I will like it. I would like him to be Spalletti. Yes, Spalletti would be a good option. Spalletti would definitely be a good option post Pioli, in my opinion. In regards to Adli, my opinion is that Pioli is a fucking biased, stubborn retard. Nice. Beautiful. One thing about Pioli is when he doesn't like a player, his season is over. That is true. I had plenty of Milanista around me. Okay. One guy was wearing Puma streetwear collab, crazy pattern jacket. He stuck out like a sore thumb. Pioli is jealous of Adli's hair. Probably is. Adli left-footed. Rock. Des is the one in charge of the Milan Instagram account lately. What if Pioli and Maldini have a plan with Adli? 1 year train, 2 year ready. Maybe. Yeah, maybe, guys. Now, never always, guys. By the way, Suso, who had an amazing game against Juventus. Freaking, he looked incredible against Juventus. Let's not forget the Suso example. Suso came to Milan. I believe he came to Milan from Liverpool as one of the youth players of Liverpool. Correct me if I'm wrong. He had his first season, very underwhelming. Then he went out on loan, I believe, for 1 or 2 seasons. And those 2 seasons did him wonders, because when he came back to Milan, even though it was our banter, Suso was our best player during that period. And he was, one of the technical leaders of the team. He was banging in those goals with his left foot, cutting inside from the right and curling in from the left. So I'm not saying that Suso is a great player, blah, 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 but I'm saying Suso is a great example of a player that comes in first year, flop, goes out on loan, comes back, and then becomes one of the best players in the team. So relative to today, Ali can become that guy. CDK can become that guy. All these youngsters can become those people. Let's see. What if Ali is not physically ready for the intensity style we play? All 45 minutes of play time and they're preparing. Yeah, maybe. Maybe he doesn't have that ability to be physically overwhelming. Maybe that is possible. Senior Green says no to Spalletti. Let me know why. Why not? Wow, another article just came out on San Media report says Leão leaving this. What? Holy moly. Breaking news. We're going to look at that right away. How about we swap with Liverpool, Klopp to Milan and Pioli to Liverpool? There was a report actually suggesting that Klopp might go to Napoli. I don't know how true that is. It's just a rumor, nothing else. June 2025 is when Pioli's contract expires. Okay, so he has 2 more seasons with AC Milan. 2 more seasons. Hilary Okoli, Paulo Diaz, a kind of striker we need to buy. Who knows that yet? Now, Paulo Diaz has had an amazing season. Amazing season. And he is scoring some bangers in the Serie A. This is another player that I believe is very, very interesting and is a player that could definitely, I think that he could definitely bring us something if he does come to Milan in one capacity over the other. I don't know how much of a success he can be at Milan, but what he's shown at Salernitana, he's carrying Salernitana this season, scoring bangers, scored a banger against Napoli, getting assists. I think right now he's surpassed the 20 goal contribution this season. So this is definitely a good call. Paulo Diaz is one of the players that Milan should be looking at for sure. A second striker, right winger, center forward. If Rebic goes out, maybe Paulo Diaz could be the replacement for Rebic. But even in the preparation, you would give him more than 140 minutes. Yeah, I agree with you. Suso over Salad and Messias. Yeah, probably, yeah. He can pass, he can score, he doesn't lose the ball. His performance against Juve was incredible, guys. Most importantly, his left foot is a wand. I would love an English-speaking coach. Nagelsmann, Klopp. These are very good coaches. Difficult that they come to Milan. But let's see. Our team is too international to have Italian-only speaking coaches. Well, I do think Italians should learn English for once and for all. Okay, let's look at this poll. 17 votes, guys. Let me see more votes. Is our summer mercato going to be a flop or a top? The majority of you say it's going to be a flop. That is what your gut instinct is telling you. All right, so it looks like we have another report regarding Leão. Here we go. Big topic of contention. AC Milan and Rafael Leão have reached an agreement over the contract renewal, and only the official announcements is missing. In spite of this, the Portuguese winger could pack his bags this summer, as per a journalist. Leão is a key player for the Rossoneri, having scored 14 goals, assisted an additional 15 goals this season. Those are excellent numbers. He's almost at 30, right? Is this correct? He scored 14 and assisted 15. I don't know if his numbers are right, but that's 29. That's really good. Very good for a winger. Those are exceptional numbers. The renewal agreement is thus a huge relief, not just for the fans, but also the Milan management. As stated by the controversial journalist Cristiano Ruggiu on calciomercato.com, it's likely that Leão will leave Milan this summer in spite of a renewal. He believes, therefore, that it was just a way for the Rossoneri to up the price. Yo. Let's talk business here. If this is true, and if Leão renews just to be sold again, that means that's 170 million smackaroos coming our way. 170 million smackaroos plus another 100 million. Bruh, that's 270 million for the market. You can build a super duper team with that kind of money. A super duper team. Just putting that out there, guys. I'm just putting that out there. Rui is not exactly known for his inside reports, and he has often been very critical of Milan. Okay. I see. The suggestion that Leão will leave in the summer thus has to be taken with a pinch of salt. Of course, the Rossoneri can't do anything if a team decides to activate the 175 million release clause. So, the reports suggested that Leão was going to accept 5 million plus bonuses wages, which came up to close to 6.5 a season, which I think is very good, is very fair. Plus this increase in the clause, 175 million. There was a report suggesting that we will see the official announcement this week. Maldini spoke about it openly in his post-match interviews during the Champions League games. He did not say, he just said, okay, just a few details are missing, but he did not suggest or hint that anything was going sour. Actually, to the contrary, he suggested that it was most likely going to happen quite soon. So 270 not for the market. True. What am I thinking, guys? You're 100% correct. It's all going to go into Jerry's nose. The whole shebang is going to go into Jerry's nose. Boy, what a night. What a night that will be. Juventus have been pinned. Wait a second. Guys. We're going to go. This might be breaking news right here. Let's see if Paul is fake news or not. Paul, this is your time to shine. Let's see. Is Paul fake news? La sentenza. The sentence. Okay, we have a sentence, guys. We have a sentence. Boom. It's done. It's official. Guys, officially, Paul is not fake news. Paul is not fake news. Wow. Capital gains, the court decided 10 penalty points. Gentlemen, Milanisti, we are officially in the top 4. Boy, if we fuck this up, how stupid are we? We are officially top 4, gentlemen. We are officially top 4. But the Roma and Salernitana are playing right now 2-2. 2-2. Well, there you have it, guys. It is official. There it is. The judgment has been made. The judges of the Federal Court of Appeal have reduced the penalty compared to the 11 requested this morning by FSG. There are 10 penalty points with which the Federal Court of Appeal wanted to punish Juventus for the capital gains case in the morning. The head of the FHG, Public Prosecutor Office, Giuseppe Chine, had asked for 11, but the court, which had a different composition than the one that on January 20 had given the famous -15, considered it necessary to reduce the sanction by 1 point. The 7 former executives, including Pavel Nedved, for whom they had been asked for 8 months to be, but not going to be able to work in football for 8 months. So, guys, it's official. It is official. Right now, let's look at the Serie A. Of course, this won't be updated right now, but I'm more excited that Paul is not fake news, honestly. I'm more excited about that than anything, because he has a history of doing the fake news thing, but today he was on point. Look at that. Here we go. So Juventus is officially at 59 points, which is only, oh my God, which is only 5 points away from us, meaning that if we lose both our games and Juventus wins the next games, they're still going to finish in top 4. We have been given a gift right now. If we fuck this up, I don't know. I'm going to hide. I'm going to dig a hole in the ground and I'm going to put my head in there for the next year and just hide from the world. So Juventus is officially now at 58 points. We have jumped into 4th spot. Lazio 2nd, Inter 3rd. We're playing against Juve, and then we're playing against Verona. Verona is at 30 points. Verona still fighting to not get relegated. That Verona game is going to be hell. Verona is going to be hell. So, guys, there you have it. There you have it. Hopefully, Empoli can beat Juventus. If Empoli take points away from Juventus, that would be nice. Even a tie would be nice. But there you go. It's official. It is official. Super team merchant. The football gods are looking down on us with mercy. Yeah, we must not mercy, it's a test. We must not screw it up. Definitely should not screw it up. I agree. I don't trust us to finish the job. I mean, come on, we've been given a gift, now we have to take it. Big for us. Forza Milan, Forza Milan. Juventus go all the way down to 8th place. What happens if Juve appeals? I did not see anything regarding any appeals. Okay. Let's see. This could be fake news. Let's see. Breaking news: CDK and Pobega land new roles as data analyst and will be helping the team off a pitch on new summer signings, explaining why CDK never scored or assisted who was on the field. So we're going to be data analysts. I mean, they kind of do look like nerds. So, yeah, it makes sense. Still, we need to win the next 2 games by any means and show a top performance. Yes, absolutely. 100%. 100%. 100%, ragazzi. So there you go. There you have it. It is official, guys. It happened during the live. It happened during the live. Okay, guys. So we're going to go towards the end of the stream today. I did want to do an open live, but we can do the open live during the week. Also, Laert owes us a fuck. Where the fuck is Laert? Can somebody please remind Laert that he needs to do his war lives? Okay, so one of the things, guys, I don't know if there are subtitles, I don't know if whatever, but in Italy, there's this podcast, a very popular podcast, kind of similar to how the US has Joe Rogan. In Italy, it's with this musician guy that does these podcasts. Maldini was on this podcast, so there's 1 hour content of Maldini being asked questions. I haven't seen it yet. I'm looking forward to see it, to see what he says. Maybe this is part of it. So we're going to end with this. Paolo Maldini has been heavily praised for his work at AC Milan, winning the Scudetto and reaching the Champions League semifinals in spite of operating with a small budget, and the director has a clear strategy. Many were surprised to see Milan lift the Scudetto last season, as on paper several other rivals had better teams. The RossonARI played as a team from start to finish, though, and made the best use of individuals like Teo Hernandez and Rafael Leão. Speaking to the Muschio Selvaggio podcast, Maldini shared his thoughts on Milan's project and explained that the path is a must for the club. So here we go, guys. The guru himself. Let's see what he says. The financial gap is simply too big to do it any other way. Right now, the financial gap is huge, and it's not easy to make up for. Milan was a great club until 2007. Then it struggled to keep up with the certain clubs like PSG, Real United in terms of revenues. Today, we're battling, losing from an economic point of view, against teams that finish 18th in the Premier League. The economic power of these teams is greater than ours, but we have tradition and ideas, he stated. Thanks to the success in the season Champions League, collecting around 125 million in revenue, Milan will be able to spend a decent amount this upcoming summer. Therefore, the fans are hoping for the right signings from Maldini. Guys, this is the podcast right here.
Berlusconi contro Gigi Casiraghi, sì, mio compagno in nazionale, gli ho dato una testata.
Gli hai dato una testata?
Roba, guarda. Faccio gol, tra l'altro.
Ok.
Faccio gol. I tifosi devono votare il miglior giocatore della partita. Io da espulso vinco il miglior giocatore della partita. Rifiuto il premio perché mi vergogno.
Ok.
È giusto, sinceramente. Rifiuto il premio e Gigi Casiraghi si deve sposare il giorno dopo con l'occhio nero. E quando l'ho visto con la moglie ho detto, ancora una vergogna.
Non ti ha invitato al matrimonio?
No.
Muschio Selvaggio, podcast più fico,
Martino.
So you can
Più particolare.
get the subtitles in English and follow it that way if you don't speak Italian. But you have 55 minutes of Maldini where he talks about his experience with Milan. He talks about Milan. He talks about himself, and yeah, you can get the subtitles in English if you want to watch it. So check it out. Maldini, always interesting character. Always interesting character. All right. No, I'm not. Okay, so 22 votes. The gut feeling is that the summer mercato is going to be a flop. All right, guys. So now that we're getting closer to the calcio mercato, we're going to be doing a lot of lives on the daily. On the daily, guys. Milan news is coming back, and every day there's going to be a new reports, new links, new players to discover. And we have a top game coming up, guys. This week, I believe that we do have the Coppa Italia final, Inter versus Fiorentina coming up midweek. Then our next bout is against Juventus. So obviously we're going to be looking at that, and we're going to be also looking into the game against Verona. But we're going to be starting our daily lives around this time. This is going to be the time that we're going to be doing our daily lives, and sometimes it's going to be just news, other times it's going to be open debates, and it's going to be great. So let's just look at the last comments before we close. Chiesa to Milan, hopefully that'll be nice. I wouldn't mind that. Chiesa not coming to Milan, probably not. I'll sell the whole bench and keep Tata to sign Chiesa. Where is Laird? Guys, where is Laird? Is missing in action, man. Where is Laird? Always, he should be doing more lives. The guy is being where is he? He's not showing up. Laird looking for Origi's 20 goals. Say Broya and Laird will appear. Say Broya 3 times and he will appear. Chiesa and Antonio for 1 million. Anthony, Antonio? What do you mean, Antonio? You mean Anthony? If Origi is 20 goals, Broya is 200. Chiesa and Milan Lab would be better than the Titanic. How did you get the sound to work on shared screen? I should work normally. I just press play. Roy translate. Yeah, you can make the subtitles in English so you can follow his interview. Guys, I haven't seen it yet, and this is what I'm going to do next. As I do my other things, I'm going to have that in my headphones and listen to it. I want to show you guys the full CL anthem in San Siro. Actually, let's do this, guys. If Rock can, I know he guys, first of all, remember, go to Rock's channel, Milan Channel TV, subscribe to his channel. He did a full presentation on the San Siro and his experience. Maybe we can get Rock to do the same thing. Maybe we can have the honor to have Rock a guest here on RossonARI TV and show us his and give us his tell us about his experience here on RossonARI TV. I'm sure a lot of people would love to see that. But guys, he already has a great video live where he talks about it. So go to his channel, Milan Channel TV, subscribe, and a lot of great pictures. Seemed like it was an amazing experience for him. Roy, hai dato qualche occhiata a Loftus-Cheek ultimamente? Lo so che anche solo l'idea ti disturba, ma secondo me può fare molto bene nel nostro gioco. Neanche per me sarebbe la prima scelta, ma per 15 milioni ma cioè, listen, I'll respond in English. Listen, for 15 million, we can do much better. Okay. I don't know. How can you think this player is going to have an impact with AC Milan? Like, in what world? How? I honestly don't know. può coprire il vuoto di che sia, allo stesso tempo lasciarci abbastanza fondi per l'acquisto di un altro centrocampista più tecnico. I mean, listen, sure, he can be the replacement of Bakayoko. He can be maybe the fourth select. Maybe, I don't know. If we sell Robin Loftus-Cheek and this guy ends up being a top player, I will reassess all of my football analytics. I don't see this. I don't see this. But whatever. It is what it is. Kessie is a top player. Top player. Kessie is an incredible footballer. I don't think Loftus-Cheek is anywhere near. Now, listen, I can be wrong. I could be wrong. You know, everybody makes mistakes. I won't be upset if we sign Leão to sell him. Kessie and Donnarumma left on a free transfer. We can't let that happen again. Good point, Road 35. Very good point. Very good point. Oh my God, Roma game is going crazy. Extra time 7 and one of the coaches got a red card. It's funny. Road 35 is had a knock at Leao's way 45. Lard comes in only if you diss Pioli, diss Brahim Diaz. Breaking Juve doctor. Yeah, we looked at that, guys. Juve will be going down to 8th spot. Happy to come here and to share the photos and videos, and then we'll add the rest that I don't do. Yes, guys. So we will get Rock on the channel in these maybe hopefully tomorrow, maybe before the final, maybe if he can, and we will and he will show us and he'll give us a rendezvous of his experience in the San Siro Milano. Kill the fucking messenger. Also, we plan to ban them for 3 years. Damn. I'll send you a link to a folder, Roy. Awesome. Roma game tied. Bravo Chunk. Roy non ne azzecca una quest'anno. No, il problema è che io le azzecco quasi tutte. E questo è il problema, ragazzi. Il problema è che io le azzecco quasi tutte. Ho un record impressionante. Le azzecco quasi tutte, perciò quando io vi dico che Loftus-Cheek non vale mezza sega, mi dispiace dirlo, ma spero di sbagliarmi. Reporters saying Chelsea going for Vlahovic and Chiesa in the upcoming weeks. Both of them. Wow. Right, just check him out in more detail when you have the time. Oh, snap. Juve plays in a few minutes. Yeah, we're going to check out Juve, guys. Well, who cares? I don't think you'll despise him as much as you do now. I don't despise him. Guys, hold the phone. I do not despise anybody. I wish Ruben Loftus-Cheek the best career possible. I do. But is he a player that can actually come to Milan and have an impact? You guys know that playing for Milan is not like playing for other clubs. We know that players, to be a Milan player, you have to be very, very, very special. And for me, spending a big portion of the transfer budget on him, it hurts. It hurts. But anyway, I really hope I'm wrong. I'll be very happy to say, yo, guys, I was wrong. I'll be very happy to say that. I'm not going to lie. I'd be very happy to say that. Where is Antonio? Guys, I told Antonio, hey, we're starting Milan News again. Let's get your ass in here. We're going. And he didn't even reply. Bruschetta, lo vedremo presto. Ruben Loftus booty ass cheeks, good luck, but not at Milan. Wouldn't this news hurt the Juve players right now? That sucks. It could either hurt them or it can motivate them. Because now they have to win. They have to win every single game. Okay, guys. Having said that, we covered a fucking shitload of news today. Wow. The Milan universe is packed with news every single day. I'm looking forward to see what the blowback is going to be regarding this situation with Juventus, and I'm curious to see what Milan is going to say about it. And now Empoli is playing against Juve, so hopefully Empoli can take a few points off of Juve. That's going to help. But guys, the news is going to be insane, guys. Insane. This summer is going to be insane because for a fact, we're going to have players that are going to be coming out just because they're loanees. This is going to be, I predict this is going to be one of the most craziest summers since the Fassone Mirabelli disaster class, where they spent 250 million for all those flops. But this time, I don't think we're going to be signing flops. I don't think so. I think Maldini, I'm optimistic. I think Maldini's going to have a great job. I think he's going to do a great job. I want Chiesa and Vlahovic. That'll be nice. Roy, have you watched Arsenal play a full game? I watched the game against Manchester City. He played and he looked good, but I would agree that he might not be able to play the double pivot. I have not watched him play full games, but there are too many things that I usually use as metrics to analyze players, and they're not on his side. First of all, his stats look very bad. And as Rock actually did the research, very injury prone. But the fact that he never gets called up from the national team, guys, it's England. It's an English national team. You know that English national team that is supposed to win every single World Cup but always gets eliminated in the quarterfinals? That English national team, yeah, he is not even, he's a reserve of the reserve of the reserve of that team. How do you expect this guy to have a big impact with Milan? I don't know. Guys, I hope I'm wrong. Thank you, Rock. Thank you. Roy, what do you think of Marco Tusami's a free agent? Very interesting player. Very interesting player. One of maybe the best free agents, offensive prospects there is, for sure. Thanks, Roy. Can't wait for Warlord Liart and Man City Antonio. Yeah, me too. Where are these guys? Roy, if it were up to you and we had 60 million to spend just on a striker, who would you get, or would you get two strikers for 60 million? $60 million, who would I get? I would get Retegui from Argentina. That's who I would spend it on. I would spend, and that's only half of the budget would go to Retegui from the Argentinian striker. And the other money, I would try to get Bakayoko from, well, actually, from PSV. There's some young Italian players that are very interesting. We will do more scouting during the week, guys. Today we only scouted Kamada, but we're definitely going to have a stream this week that is going to be exclusively for. I even downloaded the video today, guys. I even prepared the intro video for the scout report. So we're definitely going to be looking at that. Anyway, guys, we're going to end it here today. We covered so much news today. Incredible amount of news. The Milan universe is popping right now. This summer is going to be incredible. We're not going to miss any of it. We're going to catch it all, guys. We're not going to miss one bit. It's going to be incredible. So make sure you are going to be on this ride with us. Make sure that you click that like button, subscribe, and be here for every single moment a piece of breaking news comes out. Having said that, guys, arrivederci. Yes, we are doing a live. Lives are going to be daily. From now on, lives are going to be daily. Like the stream on the way out, and Jerry's will spend. And guys, also remember to subscribe to Milan Channel TV. We're going to also have lives over there with Rock, and a lot of the same people that are in this community are going to be there. It's going to be amazing. Rock's lives are amazing, very entertaining, and a lot of great debates regarding Milan and football in general. Like the stream on the way out, and Jerry will spend. Yes, sir. If Juve goes down today, it's a good boost for us. 100%. 100%. Having said that, guys, everybody, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining RossonARI TV. We will see you tomorrow. I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about tomorrow as well. So a few things to watch out for. Scout report coming up this week. We're going to do a live with Rock. He's going to give us a nice presentation of the San Siro. We're going to ask him a lot of questions about the players, what he thought. It's going to be amazing. He's already done that in his own channel, so go check that out. But we're going to try and get him to do it on this channel as well. And then we're going to be covering the news every single day, guys, because it is time. The time has arrived. So having said that, arrivederci, ciao, buona fortuna to everyone. Milan is in top 4 right now. Hopefully we keep it. Guys, we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and Forza Milan. Till the next one, arrivederci and ciao.